All right, so we are now on the wax carving process. I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do step by step. First, let's go over everything that you're going to need. First thing you'll need is Modeler's sheet wax. And this one is 22 gauge. So remember, Modeler's sheet wax, 22 gauge. Now the reason why we use 22 gauge is because it's the right thickness for us to cast the piece, and we won't have any holes or anything towards, though if it's too thin, it won't work. The sheets will look just like this. And you can find Modeler's sheet wax from riogrande.com. And when you take it out of the box, which looks like this, the sheets will come in squares. And this is how thin it is. It's 22 gauge thickness. All you do is peel it, and then we'll start to get to work. But you only want this size, 22 gauge. If it goes any higher in gauge, say 24 to 26, it gets thinner. If you go down from 22 to 20 to 18 gauge, it gets very thick. So you got to understand the differences. You're also going to need your dental tool, an X-Acto knife, and another neat trick you're going to be using is a wax pen. Now you can get this wax pen off of any website. We have the links inside of the course, but this is called SJK Lab Wax Carving Pencil. You can get this from Amazon or eBay. It has multiple controls, one for power, and each section has its own pen. So you will power it on here, and it will work for this side of the pen. And you can set the temperature in Celsius. So the temperature we normally set to is 140 Celsius. So once I use this machine, I'll be on 140 Celsius, okay? 140 Celsius. It will come with a pin exactly like this and a stand. You can change out the heads of the pen. Here's an assortment of what the others look like. So we're going to go with this size right here because it's small enough for us to use when it comes to the wax carving process. So you do not have to worry about these right now. The next thing you're going to use is mold release spray. And this is called Apple brand mold release spray, and you can find this on Amazon. It's only $10. But this is going to allow us to remove our wax off the mold so it don't get stuck. Can you imagine working so hard on a grill, you did a really good wax, but you forgot to apply the mold release spray? That wax will not come off, and you're going to have to tear it apart. So make sure you spray it prior to adding your wax. And a good thing to have on standby is a cup of water. Reason why we use water is because we'll dip our wax inside of the water whenever it starts to get a little bit loose on us. So it'll start to melt in our hands. We can just dip it into the water and it'll harden back up. Okay, so now let's get started. First thing I want to do is spray my mold release spray. You can spray it about 3 good times. You don't have to overspray. And also in the back. We take our wax sheet. So now what we have to do is measure how much wax sheet we have to cut out to use for our grill. What you want to do is you want to line up your grill to the wax sheet in the back so you can see directly through it. Make sure that the end of the wax sheet touches the molar. And just so you know what molars are the teeth behind the canine right here. We have our canine and we have our incisors. The 4 incisors are on the front. Canine, molar. So allow the wax sheet to touch the molar. You want to make sure that you have enough wax sheets to cut out. So if we put it to the top, we need the same exact size of our whole entire mold to go at the bottom. So you can see it measures evenly. Hold your end, roll it across, and make an impression with your finger at the other end of the molar. So now you can cut out this square. So now let's place our wax evenly onto the grill and press into it so we can get an impression of the teeth. So you're just gonna wipe. Make sure you're using gloves because if your fingers is on it, you're gonna get fingerprints. And be careful if you have nails. We do not want to cut through the wax. All right, so we have our impression made. Take our X-Acto knife. Now we want to make a slit directly in the middle of this wax sheet. I'm gonna mark it. I don't want to cut on the tooth. I want to cut exactly in the middle of the two teeth of the incisors and right above it. Right there where I made my mark. Don't touch the teeth. Directly in the center, stab through, cut straight up. Okay, next step, we want to take this, I call it the wing. We want to take this and lay it down straight to the back. So we're going to lay it flat towards the back. Make sure you're applying pressure to the top of the teeth. Not too much pressure because you might allow the teeth to actually press through the wax. Okay, lay it flat to the back. Apply pressure towards the back so it can lay flat. And also, you'll have some access on the sides. So let's press that access down onto the molar. So we squeeze the front, squeeze the back, and press down on the top. Smoothing it out. So it should look just like this. Now, next we're going to lay the next side down directly over top of the back. Lay it over. And as you lay it over, you'll notice a little piece of wax is going to be poking up. Lay that flat down with your finger as well. Straight towards the back. Okay, flatten it. And then press down on the molar. Flatten in the back. So now what I want to do is I want to plug and turn on my wax pen. And you could turn it on sooner. Okay, so we're nice and smooth. So if we turn to the back, you can see we have an overlapping of wax. So we have one wax under the first layer and then we have one on top. So we want to actually cut this little triangle piece that's laid over top so we can remove that. So you're going to start your line here. I don't want you cutting where the wax doesn't meet. Cut right on top of the borderline of the wax that's overlapped. And let's make a straight line across. Then a line down all the way through. And then a little notch right there above the top. So now we can remove it. That's simple. Now you can take your dental tool, lay it down nice and flat. And then we'll take our wax pen and we're going to smoothen it out. So we just want to smoothen it out because it's going to connect. We want these two parts to connect evenly. All right.